The Humans Stole Another Ship by OGGruntComm. Video audio transmission received. Origin, Assimilation Fleet Alpha. Broodfather, E5. Do you accept? A long appendage pressed the hologram's Yes button. After a short while, the hologram displayed a red-marked creature cowering behind a large dirt hill alongside a few others. They were all very injured, with a few missing appendages. Their exoskeletons shook in fear, their bodies pressed against the dirt hill and kept low in order to minimize being spotted. This is, the once proud red-marked creature that the Empire deployed began to speak in a weak and soft tone. Please, Brood, shut your damned mandibles, the yellow-marked creature said desperately. Before today, the yellow one would have been just cut into pieces before a hanging, but oddly enough, the red one did nothing. Please help us. This slaughter pit of a planet isn't worth any of the work it'll take to control. They are animals, all of them. A sudden loud crack was heard at a distance, followed by a thunk as if something fell. Hey Jerry, I got another one! A Terran yelled out, somewhat close to the red one's position. Just as they heard the humans approach the sound of the thunk, the blue one that had been shot began to scream. A hiss and gnashing of massive jaws were heard in the same direction. The blue one screamed and cried for help, but the group didn't dare move. Its death was very slow but terrifying, with its screams only ceasing after a muffled crunch. Damn it! Fucking gator got him, the human grumbled, obviously frustrated at the chain of events. It even sounded like he kicked a tree. The red one looked back to the recording device. They knew we were coming. They waited for us to all leave, then pounced on a Graglian riding a Jumrat. Using their transportation vehicles as ramming devices against our two combat mechs. Somehow, they could see through darkness, smoke, cover. It didn't matter. They slaughtered everyone. The red one looked over the hill for a second and then continued to speak. I ordered us to return to the ship, but it was already too late. They had surrounded it completely and had already started drilling and cutting into its hull. So, I told the rest to regroup in the nearby slog. It wasn't long until we found out why the humans stopped chasing us. If it wasn't for their traps, the long, slender reptiles choking or poisoning us, it was what they call gators. A nearby creature began to heave through its moisture sacs, rocking itself back and forth, pleading to return home. If you aren't brought further back into the dark and dirty muck, you are ripped into pieces by them, and then the humans continued their pursuit. We are being hung, ripped apart, shot, tortured, and played with. This is a game to them, one huge game, and I'm very sure half of them are inebriated or on spice. The red one turned to one of his warrior caste. Get up, you useless tool. Go fight! He looked closer at the silent warrior, barely noticing a massive tendril-like being wrapped around it tightly. Help! Crunch! The warrior fell limp. A drawn-out hissing sound came from the tendril creature as it opened its mouth, seemingly breaking its own jaw to do so, and consumed the warrior's head. One of the creatures shot straight up in a freaked-out daze, only managing to say, "We are sore!" before the tree behind it was splattered with bone fragments, flesh, and bullet shrapnel. Ha! Got one, paw! A younger Terran exclaimed in glee before the sounds of movement approached their position. Run! The red one screamed out before dashing off with the holodrone. Please, Council! I plead! Call off all excursions. Even their civilians are specialized assassins. The red one suddenly ran into a small covered spot, knocking over a bunch of old metal, and particularly a barrel full of clear liquid. The scent of chemicals was overwhelming. Scrambling in the mess, he struggled to get up because of a few broken appendages. Oh, Jerry, one of them knocked over your moonshine spot, an excited human said, while approaching the red one. God fucking damn it! Out of all places! Shit! Where the fuck is it? A deeper but much gravelier voice responded angrily. The red one lifted itself just enough to clear some of the junk he had fallen on, only to be met with two human weapons pointed at his face. This one looks better than the rest. You think it's a girl? One inquired. Bro, this ain't the time, the other said disappointedly. I'm just trying to be the first, man. I could probably get on Joe Rogan with that story. Just sayin', he said with a slight chuckle. All right, let's bring him to Jerry. I'm sure he's pissed about this mess. The hollow drone hovered nearby, watching as the two Hawaiian-shirted humans lifted the broodfather from his spot and dragged him back towards a larger group. His kicks and screams for mercy went ignored until the drone was inevitably shot out of the sky. Transmission ended. The same long appendage from before scrolled a screen over to show Earth. And after a few presses, large red letters flashed over the planet. Classification: Death World. The end. Like and subscribe for more content.